Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the Super Mario block of this mid-sprint speed flynn. I am Uncle Slam, and I'm going to be kicking this block off with Super Mario Maker 2, but I won't be doing it alone. Fellas, introduce yourselves to the lovely people.
Hello, I am Sheepley's Day.
I am the man with no name, also known as Shakar.
We call him Richie, though, even though he doesn't have a name. But yeah, so this is the story mode, any % no Luigi assist category, and we start this with a minute and a half long cutscene, so I'll just get into it. So we're gonna get this started in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Alright, so the whole point of story mode, for those of you who haven't played it, is that we want to finish building Princess Peach's castle. This, believe it or not, is not the finished product, and we'll see why in a brief moment. But the way we will be building the castle is that each part of the castle will need to be built one by one. So we'll start with the foundation, and then we'll start by building the first floors of the main hall, the west hall, and the east hall. And then we've got doors, cannons, roofs, all that sort of fun stuff to build along the way. And each one of the coins, now the way we get coins is that we need to play through levels, and we can get coins in two different ways by playing them. The first way is that most levels will have a first clear coin bonus. So the first time we clear any given level, it will give us 100, 150, 200, or 300 coins, depending on what the game calls the difficulty. And in addition to that, we will also collect, when we go through levels, we'll be collecting coins as we go, and any amount of coins we get in each level will also be added to that total. So even if we've already played the level, if we pick up, 45 coins in that level, we'll still get 45 coins guaranteed. Sheepley, do you want to talk about stuff while I play this first level?
Happy to. So we're going to start off with we only have one level to choose from. Later on we'll have more we can pick, so we'll start off with level 1. And now this level is pretty much just hold right to get to the end. We'll do a few turnbacks, but one of the main differences between this speedrun and other Mario games is that we're not just trying to get to the end of the level as quickly as possible. We're going to try to grab as many coins on the way as we can while still going fast. So you'll see he will try and get the most coins, opting for the higher route here. In a second here to get some bigger coins. That'll get us more value. But just like that, we're already out of level 1 and moving on.
Yep, so that was the first level. We always have to play that one because it's the only one available from the get-go. But as we start building more parts of the castle, we'll get more unlocked. So the order in which we build the castle also dictates the order in which we are able to play levels. So once we build the foundation, or start building the foundation, we'll unlock levels 2 through 4. And we're just going to skip level 2 because it's slow, doesn't yield a ton of coins compared to the other two. And level 3 in this is the first 3D world level. And it makes use of the cat suit, which we'll be seeing in many other levels from this point on. And it works about the same way you would expect if you played 3D World at all. So this style also has trees we can climb. So along the way I will be collecting some coins. And once I get the cat suit here, you'll notice that, okay, I can dive, I can climb certain parts of the level. What? Hello. Get down there. You can also long jump in the 3D World style, which is something you can't do in any other style. So we'll be making use of that as well in future levels. With the cat suit, you can also climb walls like that. And one very nice feature of the cat suit is that if you end with a flagpole level, no matter where you land on it, Mario will climb most of the time to the very top. As long as you don't land, at the very, very bottom of the flagpole, he'll always climb to the top. And we do want to do that quite a lot in here because in most of the levels, we'll try to hit the top of the flagpole because the higher you end on flagpoles, the more coins you'll get from them. So the very top will be 10, then 5, 3, 2, and 1 as we work our way down. Certain other levels won't really matter how we finish them, so if we play a castle level, for example, those always end with axes, and every time we hit those, they'll give us 5 coins. So those we don't have to worry too much about. This is basically a pseudo-auto-scroller, so...
Yeah, for the most part, we'll try to avoid auto-scrollers throughout the run, because you're kind of bound by how quickly you can go.
Yeah, that
this
does...
one is still a better option than level 2.
Yeah, but that does yield into question the levels we do want to choose for this run, because, like we said before, we want to maximize the number of coins we collect, but we also want to choose relatively fast levels. So most of the time when we play levels, it's because they yield a pretty good coins per second rate, and that rate is roughly 3 per second, give or take. So that's essentially how we choose what levels go into any percent. We also have an all jobs category where we play through all 120 jobs in story mode, where it doesn't necessarily matter as much.
So Sheeply, I've got a question for you. Given that the whole premise of this game is brought about by a dog messing things up, have you ever had any incidents with sheepdogs that cause similar issues?
No, in fact, I think a sheepdog might help us keep that other one in line so we don't have issues like this.
Give it a friend to keep it entertained?
Oh, yes.
In my experience, adding more dogs to the situation just causes more chaos because they feed off each other, but you know, maybe you're onto something.
So you'll see here that once the foundation completed, we have this little victory animation. And that will happen every single time we finish part of the castle. So what we'll actually do throughout this run is you'll see that when the West Hull pops up, there will be 3 hammers there. And those hammers indicate that we need to play that many levels before that part of the castle is finished being built. So oftentimes what we will do is we'll try to finish multiple parts of the castle at once, so we don't get as many animations of the toads celebrating, oh yay, we finished this part of the castle. Because that animation takes like 4 seconds, I believe, so the more of those we can get rid of, the better. It's a minor thing you don't really notice unless you run the game yourself. But all that time does add up. So that also kind of determines how we build the castle and how we go through levels specifically. So here we have Yoshi. This is likely the only Yoshi level we will see in this run. And he is very, very useful for this level, because this is where the speed tech and such really starts to amp up. So this room you're meant to get through after you hit 2 P-switches in here, but with Yoshi, we can grab this one and move it. And along the way we can get this cheese coin right here. Second try, not bad. So we're going to hit that one and hopefully ride it to the end of this room. With some really clean movement we can get through. The one below us is the second one we're meant to hit, but if you're fast enough you don't have to worry about that. And hope you guys aren't that fondly attached to Yoshi, because we kind of have to do that for speed's sake.
No wonder we don't see him again.
Yeah. No regrets.
You murdered my nephew. How dare you?
It's for the sake of speed, man. We all have to sacrifice something. In this case, it's Yoshi. There's a small chance we see him later, but that's way further down the line. So this is the first level that introduces a clear condition. Clear conditions can range from a wide variety of things. In this case, it's grabbing all 30 coins in the level. And the way we do this is kind of interesting, because there are 4 different rooms we can access from the main hub room here. And they all have pretty much the same layout, but they have different enemies in them. The first room I'm going into has these Koopas, and I want to collect a shell to use in hopefully the rest of the 3 rooms. And the nice thing about shells is, when Mario throws them, they will collect coins if they ever come into contact with them. So we can utilize that to save the time going all the way through this room as Mario to collect them. Now, this is a bit of RNG we have to worry about here, because Pom can teleport herself pretty much wherever she wants to in this room. I did not like that pattern. It was actually a good pattern, but I was a little nervous about where she was going to throw that shuriken. So I'm just going to do this room without the shell, also for marathon safety, because trying to get the shell back is a little risky, because you risk getting hit by it instead of stopping it. So I should end this with 261 on the timer, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, just getting through that level without losing a life or 2 is a good deal.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest choke point in the early game, I'd say. Because 3D world physics are also really jank sometimes. So yeah, moving on to level 10, which is another 3D world level. This one introduces the bonsai bills and the catsuit as well, which I think this is one of 2 levels in the entire game which utilizes this mechanic, where with the catsuit you're actually able to redirect bonsai bills. So in a little bit here, I'll just climb the scenery here and there as well. Yeah, so right here, if I wait for this bonsai bill to come towards us... Whoop, started moving a little bit there, but it's fine. I should still be able to get this 10 coin no problem. There we go. And like clockwork.
Yeah, there's
So-
a lot of really neat tech with the 3D world and the catsuit. Some of it isn't as flashy, like just you want to jump like when you're running, just because it's a little bit faster to gain speed that way. So not as flashy as like the cat dive or anything, but still very useful tech that we got to use in those styles of levels.
Yeah, definitely. Wait till it gets level 49, that's where the catsuit really shines.
Yeah.
This next level is one of my favorites in the run. Seesaw Catapult, so it's desert themed, and we have 2 tricks relatively early in the level. The first one being Seesaw Skip 2, and the second one being Seesaw Skip 1. Don't question it. So I'm going to try to set up a pretty precise triple jump here. So 1, and 2, and 3, and wall jump, and we got Seesaw Skip 2, and this is Seesaw Skip 1, where we just spin jump down there. And the reason they're numbered that way is because we started using Seesaw Skip 1 before Seesaw Skip 2. So, there you go. We're also going to collect... No, we're just bad at math. That's actually what it is. But yeah, here we're going to collect that mushroom, and then we're going to do another triple jump here. Damage abuse through these piranha plants. I said I wasn't going to do that strat, but... Yeah, then we can just spin 4 times in the air and get the top of the flagpole, no problem. So now we're going to start building the main hall, and after I start building the main hall, we're going to do our only level where we don't talk to one of the toads to start it. And that's because in this game, you can talk to NPCs all over the map, and some of them will give you different missions. It's like all the toads do. There are some other, course parts that will actually give you levels. And in this case, we're going to talk to Undo Dog, aka the guy who started this whole fiasco.
The Destroyer.
Yeah, we still love him, though. He's a good boy. But the whole point of this level is not to get grabbed by any swinging claws. And that is easier said than done. Because they are all over the place here. Also, there are ice physics, and that does not exactly make things easy for us either. So yeah, there's a cluster of 10 coins on the right here that is being very nicely guarded by this claw. Got most of them, though, so that's good. Then with these vines, I'm going to do the fast strat here, which is about 2 seconds faster than getting the coins down there and then the 10 coin.
Nice.
And we should be safe from this point on. Assuming I don't spontaneously forget the route. Yeah, and we should be good. So that 10 coin is going to fall right on us. And with the Super Mario World levels, you only get coins if you break the tape. And like with the flagpoles, the higher they are, the more coins we get. But it's not nearly as strict as if you've ever played Super Mario World. You know how the tape has to be like at the very, very top to get the max points out of it. Here it's a bit more generous. Alright, so next I'm going to build the East Hall, and this is going to be the first example of trying to finish multiple parts of the castle at once. And because we build multiple parts of the castle at once, that's a big reason why we want to maximize our coin profit as early as possible. Moving on to level 7. The last level we tried to avoid all the claws, and in this one we need to utilize them to their fullest. So this one's pretty basic. If there are any donations to be read, now would be a pretty good time for that.
I am happy to talk about what you can donate towards, because we have multiple bid wars and incentives as well. Coming up, I believe the next one that is relevant is the Titanfall 2 one, where you can donate towards killing or sparing the Marvin. Right now, Kill is ahead, but only by $10. So if you want to see spared, then you can donate towards that. And then we also have a pretty new incentive up here. You can donate towards a bonus run, which will happen later this weekend, which is Celeste Classic 2 100% by SexRex. There's a $1,200 goal for that, and it's just been put up, so there's nothing in it yet, but you can change that real quick if you want to.
Let's get that running, people. Alright, so level 8 Showstopper. This is one of 2 levels we'll see in the run, probably 2 at least. It depends on if we see Yoshi or not, but that use the shoe mechanic. This was an item that was only ever in Super Mario Bros. 3, but now I have it in Maker. So with the shoe, we can get on munchers and other enemies without having to worry about Mario getting hurt. And we're going to see, I believe, 3 different types of shoes used in this level. So we're done with that first one, you know, the basic one. The second kind we'll see is this large one, which we can ground pound with. It's a pseudo ground pound. We're going to skip these high heels, even though they do have their uses, we don't really need to worry about them. And then the last one we're going to use is this wind shoe, which if we hold the jump button, we can get a little bit more height. But we don't really need to worry about that. Also, we're going to get the top of the flagpole in an unintended way there. If we just jump out of the shoe, we can get the top, instead of having to, you know, bop the piranha plants there. It's kind of a common theme here, where we get the top of the flagpoles in ways Nintendo clearly did not intend, but that's the first big instance of it, if I'm not mistaken. And then this next level is, I believe, our first big open-ended puzzle level. I guess level 5 was kind of like that, but in this one, we're meant to collect 3 keys out of 7 possible rooms. We need 3 keys in order to actually get to the end, not counting that 4th one we saw there. And we're just going to get the quickest 3 we possibly can, so I'm just going to grab this P-switch and bring it over here. So the first one is really easy to get. All we have to do is hit that question mark block. You can use, I believe, any of the 3 items at the start of the room to get it. And then this room, we're going to let the P-switch do its job. Going to toss it over here, get the key out of this block, and collect some coins before we leave. And then we're going to go into the conveyor belt room, and while the P-switch is activated, conveyor belts pause. So that makes this room a lot easier. And now that we've gotten our 3rd key, we can just head to the exit. And I'm going to try to get a jump off of this P-switch into the pipes. Let's see if I get it. Ah, almost. Just a little too far left. That saves about half a second if you can get it, but not a big deal. Then the rest of this level is just going through doors. Exhilarating, I know.
You know, maybe you should bring back some tips for the Toads, because they clearly have not yet unlocked door technology. They're just nailing a bunch of 2x4s to the doorways and saying, eh, good enough.
And we'll see doors in a few minutes, and by a few I mean like 15. Listen, there's nowhere to go. You can go to the roof, but what is there up there? Of course, I guess the red toad's stuck now. You know, maybe you're right. Alright, so level 12 is the first introduction we have to night themes. And whatever the night effect has on the level depends on what course type it is. In this case, it's an underground level. So when we go to the subworld, so going through a pipe, we'll see that the gravity is actually inverted. And in this case, the entire level is inverted. So we're going to make use of that. We'll see other night themes later as well, like the desert theme has wind, for example. So making use of the shell's properties of picking up coins there, we're going to collect that bad boy. And we're going to use this one to collect a 30 coin you're definitely not intended to get with a very precise throw there. And then one thing I guess we didn't address last time we did a Super Mario Bros. 3 level is that the finishes for those cycle through the mushroom, the fire flower, the star, and the 1-up mushroom, and those yield 1, 3, 5, and 10 coins respectively. So I'm going to try to time my jumps so I get either the star or the 1-up mushroom, because I don't want to lose too terribly many coins.
Yeah, it looks like you're 2 for 2 so far on the 1-ups, right?
Yeah. I'm actually impressed. Alright, so this is a cycle-based level where we're going to want to avoid the lava and losing our shell, because that's how we avoid the lava. So this level actually underwent, I think it was, oh gosh, over a year ago at this point, a bit of a change, because Sheeply here managed to find a 50 coin in this room here that no runners knew existed for the longest time. And combining that with another coin he found that we'll see later in the run, hopefully. That actually managed to shave an entire level out of the run, and therefore an entire minute out of the run, because with the loading times, each level takes at least a minute to do most of the time. And I should point out there that Bowser's Fire at the end is completely RNG, so the fact that I didn't get hit there is really, really good. Alright, so now we're going to start building the second floor of the main hall, or the first floor for you Europeans. And after 4 levels, we will talk to the red, green, and blue toads, but more on that later. This next level also has some pretty interesting enemies, I'll say. They're probably well, they're not even enemies really, but they're the twisters, you can see here. They're not so bad in most of the game styles, but once we get to a new Super Mario Bros. U level that utilizes them, they become a bit annoying. Yeah, so right here, I'm going to get that Super Mushroom because we're going to need to abuse it here. So right here, you're meant to hit POW blocks to get rid of that whole pyramid, but that's really slow. So we just damage abuse over them. Gonna collect this mushroom. And then this will be the last time I have an actual hard time-in for a Super Mario Bros. 3 finish. Hey, I'm 3 for 3 on the 1-ups. That's actually really good, because you don't have many frames for the 1-up mushroom at the end there, so that's pretty dang good, considering.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah. So, talking about some more clear conditions here. This next level is called No Jumping Allowed. 10 points to anyone who can guess what the clear condition is. That's right, we can't jump. But the way this game determines jumping is kind of weird, so even if we don't jump, if Mario ever leaves the ground and then touches the ground again, the game counts that as a jump. So even though we can't, we're kind of limited on our movement, this is actually still a very interesting level in terms of what we're allowed to do. So once we get into this next room, I'm actually going to pause just a little bit so I can collect some coins that get shot out of these cannons. Because you do get a pretty fair amount. So what we're going to do in this next room is something called Flame Skip, where there will be 2 sets of flame shooters. I actually forget what the actual game term is called. But yeah, you'll see. And you're meant to pause on the leftmost 2 before the rightmost 2 go off. But if I time this right, I can skip them all in one fell swoop. And I get it, that saves 4 seconds. If I missed it, I would have to play the entire level over, and that would not be great, but we got it, so it's fine. And then here I'm going to go for Trampoline Skip. So once I have that Thwomp activate that P-switch, we're going to go across here. You're meant to wait for each of those one by one, but you can skip them all in one fell swoop if you're quick enough, which I was. And then right here, even though the level is called No Jumping Allowed, I'm going to break that rule and be just fine. So yeah, the only reason I was able to finish the level there, even though I jumped, was that Mario never actually hit the ground before he hit the flagpole. If at any point you jump in a no-jumping level and hit the ground afterwards, the flagpole will not be there. Instead, it'll just be an outline saying, hey, you failed the clear condition, you have to play the whole level over. And then we feel sad. It also happens in cases where it's like, oh, you need to collect a certain number of coins. It'll say, hey, you haven't collected enough, go back. So, this is our first fully underwater level. Not a whole lot to talk about here, so do we have any donations?
We sure do. We just got $5 from Josh Nash IV saying, paying respects to the fallen Yoshi. Good luck, Slam. You're doing great. And hi, Sheeply.
Hey, John. Glad to see ya.
Hey, John. Thanks for the donation.
Yeah, John is another old-school runner of this game. Also a very good Pac-Man 99 player. So shout-outs to him. Here we have like a small little trick. We can collect that 10 coin without getting blasted up by that twister. That saves around a second and a half if you don't get blown up by it.
Yeah, and that's about the most technical thing in this level.
Yeah, water levels, in general at least, are not exactly the best in terms of speed tech. We have one a bit later that's fairly more interesting, I'd say. Yeah, and then coming up through the end room here is by far the easiest flagpole to get the top of.
Just barely.
Didn't know if I was going to make it, man. Yeah, so this next level is another really interesting one, where over time we developed more and more IL strats for it. So, a while back, a Super Monkey Ball runner named Steven CW decided to run this game. And when playing this level, he actually utilized a strategy that was only used in individual level runs. And the reason we had not used it before that point was that it's very, very scary. But essentially the whole theme of this level is the Koopa clown car and riding that through most of the level. But whenever we need to go down through a level, it's actually faster to let gravity do its work. So in this case, after we grab this 10 coin, I'm going to hop in here, and we're meant to ride that through the rest of this room, but instead we can just ride these Koopas all the way down here. And skip all of that with a nice damage abuse. And you'll see I have this spiny Shelmet here. We do want to preserve that to the end of the level, and you'll see why once we get there. Yeah, you can see there, letting Mario just fall via gravity is much faster than this thing is currently moving now. So that'd be why we do that. And then we should be smooth sailing from here, yes indeed. So the reason we wanted to preserve the spiny helmet here is this section, where you would otherwise miss out on a ton of coins. And I think the most you could get from the finish line is like, what, 2, 3?
Yeah, just 2.
Yeah, so not great. Alright, so now that we've finished the first 4 parts of the castle after the foundation, we're able to go to the top of the main hall and talk to the toads up there. Because apparently they're missing parts of the castle, they need to build more of it. So we're going to help them out with their little problems. I believe all of these are clear condition levels. So this first one introduces the stone. The stone is only accessible in a few story mode levels. You cannot use this in Level Maker for whatever reason. And the whole point is just to reach the goal while holding it. No big deal. So you can see here we have very limited mobility, Mario moves much slower, and this is the highest he can jump. Now, I will be going for a little bit of a skip here. So, 1, 2, throw the stone, get it up there, and turn around, and there we go. That saves about a second and a half. Shoutouts to Val, a very skilled Japanese runner of this game, who first introduced that into the run. So you notice there that I hit the level end facing to the left, and that's actually very important, because once you hit the end of a level while Mario's carrying a stone, he will immediately let go of the stone. You know, and that itself is not anything special. But if he's facing to the right, he'll throw it to the right, and if he tries to walk off the screen, it will block him. And if that happens, it actually takes longer for the screen to fade out. So I think facing to the left, so he throws it to the left so he can walk off screen naturally, saves about 3 seconds. Just because you get out of the level a little quicker. It's a very minor thing that you might not even notice at first. Yeah, this is a very, very quick level where all we have to do is reach the goal in this cloud here. And there we go.
Shortest level in the entire run, too.
Yeah, easily. The world record for that level is actually 3 seconds, but it does require some very, very precise movement that gets you very close to the spikes, and it also requires you to get the top of the flagpole, which you saw was only a 1 square, narrow region. So we don't even tend to go for it in full game runs most of the time, because it's actually quite risky. This level introduces Toad Escorts, which are another feature that are only available in story mode. So we're going to come over here and collect the purple Toad, and if he ever gets hit in this whole level, if you've ever played Yoshi's Island, what will happen is he gets bubbled up and sent back to where we first got him, and the only way to get him back is to hit the bubble. I'm also going to do a setup here that looks pretty nifty. That was developed by Sheeply.
Perfect, well done.
Thank you, thank you. And now that we've helped out all the Toads, we can start building more of the castle. So we're going to start up again by building the East Hall. You know, once those exclamation point blocks are put into place. And it's actually kind of important why I'm building the East Hall before the other 2 halls, but more on that later. For now, we're going to get into one of the, I'd say, simplest levels in the run. It's not exactly one of the shortest, but it is one of the simplest. And it introduces the snake block. Once you hit a snake block, it will start moving in a designated path, and that's about it. So for the most part, this is a pseudo auto-scroller. So all I have to do is hit it right away, and then let it take you where it needs to take you. Do we have any donations that can be read during this level?
I can read one more, absolutely. We got a $5 anonymous donation, just saying, good luck, Slam.
Hey, thank you, thank you.
For that donation.
Yeah, so at that level, because of that question mark block in the center, we can just hop right onto it from the snake block, and then hop to the end. We found that day 1. Alright, so this next level is a 3D world level, and it is by far my favorite in all of any percent. Not all of story mode, but all of any percent. It is Master of the Trees, and it features the bully, which we have not seen in games since, well, 3D World, but before that, the last time we saw it was in Super Mario 64, so everybody say hi to the bully. Hi, bully.
Welcome back, bully.
Now say bye to the bully.
Good to see you, bully.
You bullied him good.
Yeah. See how he likes it. So I like the bullies because we can get nice little speed boosts like that if we do it right. And then the whole point of this level is to climb to the top of each of these trees, but that's pretty easy to do, so most of the time I don't even have to think about it. Especially considering you kind of need to progress through the level. And I should finish this with a 173. So right here you're meant to hop off that bully to get the top of the flagpole, but again, that's a little slow, so I'm just going to skip him entirely. And then the next level actually is a straight-up auto-scroller.
It is, but I think it's probably the best one in my opinion. I think it's a well-made level.
It is actually, because it actually makes you want to go through it relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't feel like you're always waiting around. Like the first, I'd say 2 seconds, you're waiting a little bit for it to get started. But after that, it's maybe not intense, but you definitely want to keep moving. So I'm just going to wait for the mushroom to reach me here, and then I'm going to get a move on. There's also kind of a little bit of a trick we can do at the very end of the level, which will help us finish it just a little bit quicker, even though it's an auto-scroller. Right here, if you fall down there, though, before the level goes down, even though there's clearly floor there, you will actually hit a kill plane if you're too fast about it. That has happened to me in a run before, and I was quite shocked. So here I'm going to time when I start that slide. So when I go over here, I can immediately go through that teleportation block and get 265 on the timer. If you're just a little slow on that, you'll hit 264, so if you hit a 265, you know you did it right. So that was quite nice. And, any of you guys in the chat like Super Mario Galaxy by any chance? If so, y'all are gonna love this level. Because one nice feature of this game is that you can add music from past Mario games to it, and in this case we get some beautiful Good Egg Galaxy. So here we want to ride this Koopa Clown car for the majority of the level. We also have a fight with Bowser at the end, and to get rid of him we need to hit him with, I forget how many fireballs exactly, I think it's like 14 fully charged ones. So it should take 5 hits from this thing once we reach that point. Gonna get rid of these chain chomps before I get the chance to see where they're attached to. And here's Bowser, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're done. 108 is an insanely good time here, holy crap. Usually I finish with 106 or 107 there, but 108 only happens every once in a blue moon, so that was very awesome to pull off during a marathon. Alright, so next, as requested by Richie here, we're going to start building the east doors. Because right now we just have a bunch of boarded up doorways.
Anyone can sneak past those boards, and you don't want children or the like running around an active construction zone.
Are there children in the Mushroom Kingdom?
I'm pretty sure some of the Paper Marios at least had toads with babies.
Fair point, fair point. But yeah, so this is Buzzy, and this is a very interesting clear condition level where we need to collect 80 coins in order to get through it, but if I play this right, I should collect at least 200. Well, okay, at least 190. So some relatively precise throws. Oh, that was not a great one, but it's fine. I can get a pretty decent amount. I say over 200 because I also count the finish line as well, but the game does not take that into consideration when counting the 80 coins. So anything 205 or higher is fantastic. So hopefully we'll be seeing that. Looks like I'll be getting 204, that's also fine. And right there you really do want to hit that 50 coin. Because if you miss and hit one of the POW blocks, then you lose the shells underneath you, you hit the spikes, and because of that you lose Mario's Shellmet here, and then you also can't get the 30 coin that I got at the end with the Spiny. So 204 is quite good there. Usually I average around 204, so yeah, I'm happy I got that. Okay, so I mentioned water levels before and how I'd have an intense one coming up. So, this next level, 57, is the next fully underwater level we get here, and 50... Did I just go into 56 again? I did. You know what? You know what, we'll just stick with it. I think it'll actually be faster than, I think it'll be faster than trying to exit out and do 57, so since you've already seen this, now would be a great time for some donations.
Well, I can always talk about what we're raising money for. Because we are raising money for Sweet Relief. And in case you're not familiar with Sweet Relief, it's a musician fund that provides financial assistance to all types of career musicians who are struggling to make ends meet while facing illness, disability, or age-related problems. In other words, healing musicians in need. They help musicians with medical and vital living expenses, including insurance premiums, prescriptions, medical treatment, and operative procedures, housing costs, food costs, utilities, and other basic necessities. So especially now during COVID, this is an incredibly important charity, so all your money donated is incredibly appreciated.
Yeah, please donate, guys. This is a really good cause. Alright, so 205 there. We actually went up ourselves from last time, so glad we got to see that at least. Okay, so for realsies now we're going to go into level 57. And 57 is really cool because it's the second and final fully underwater level we do, and oh no, I went into level 56 again. What a terrible mistake. I cannot believe I made it twice in a single run. Do you think they bought it, guys?
You don't want to do that water level, huh?
Yeah. Do you think they bought it?
No, not in the slightest.
Better the first time.
Yeah, so Sheeply, do you want to talk about why we're playing this level multiple times?
Sure, yeah, well, really this goes back to what we talked about earlier with needing high coins per second. And this level right here, because it gives us 200 plus coins every time, even without the end of the level bonus, gives us more coins in shorter time than what the other levels available, or some of the other levels available to us now could even do. So we just grind this level out anywhere from like 5 to 8 times, depending on the route and depending on if we need extra coins or not. So get cozy. We'll be doing this a few more times.
Yeah, I typically do it 7 times, so this is the third of those 7. So we'll have 4 more after this, so if you guys need to go to the bathroom or grab a snack or something, that would be a not bad time to do it. But if I get a 206 or higher here, you guys are going to want to stick around for that because that would be pretty awesome.
All that being said, it is not that easy of a level. I mean, it's relatively easy to get through the level, but there are some difficult moves, especially getting the 50 coin, where you have to thread the needle with the shell up to get the 50 coin without hitting any of the POWs. So Slam definitely is working while doing these levels.
Yeah, this is not a free level to get at least 200 coins for. Yeah, Sheeply and I are probably 2 of the best in the world when it comes to getting consistently high coin totals here.
I have a pretty high standard deviation. I get low numbers sometimes.
Yeah, but you're the only person in the world who's gotten a 210. Twice, in fact. Yeah, for reference, the highest total that's ever been done in a marathon, or not in a marathon, but in a run is 209. And I believe that's only happened, like, 4 times ever. Usually the highest you'll see is 208, but if you're really, really lucky, you can get a 209.
Yep, but if you can just keep that average right around 204 or so, you're right on track.
Yeah. I would be lying if I said this was not my most practiced level in the entire speedrun. See, I'm pretty consistently getting 205s here, so that's nice. Yeah, the reason we're getting them all out of the way here is just to save time on menuing, because since the, when I talk to Toad again, it will already be highlighted in level 56, so don't have to worry about, okay, later on, switch into this page of levels and then, going all the way down to 56 and hit it again. Now here we just get them all out of the way while we're already here. Plus, since we need to build multiple parts of the castle at once, this is just a good way to build that coin total so we can afford to do that. Yeah, this 3-shell section is like probably the one people tend to struggle with the most because the momentum while you're on this shell platform is kind of weird. Because it wants to speed you up and slow you down in kind of weird ways, but after a while you do tend to get used to it. So I believe that was number 5, so I think we have 2 more to go.
Yeah, unfortunately for both runners and viewers, this is the only level that we're going to play multiple times, except at the very end, we'll do some tactical level repeats as well.
Yeah.
But once we're through this section, we'll start getting to some more interesting levels.
Yeah, so this whole run in total is about 100 minutes long, and this whole sequence takes about 10 minutes, so it's only like 10% of the run. It's not that bad, but this is the no Luigi assist category. I guess we can explain the difference between those two categories real quick. So Luigi assist in this game, if you die on a level twice, I believe it is, Luigi will come out and say, hey, you can add parts to the level if you want, bro. And you're able to do that. And if you do it on this level in particular, in Luigi Assist at least, you can add I believe it's a POW block, a star, and a cape to the level to get through much, much quicker, while still collecting a good amount of coins. And because it becomes much quicker and you still get a good amount of coins from it, in the Luigi Assist category for 90%, this level is played 18 times, and takes up about a quarter of that run. So, in no Luigi Assist, we have it easy. Because this is much, much more engaging. By comparison, at least.
Well, as much as I love watching my favorite homeless person run video games really quickly, I'm afraid I need to get going to get stabbed in the arm and injected with a lethal virus. So, I wish you luck, Uncle Slam.
Thank you.
Show him the true meaning of speed.
I will do my best, sir.
Do we have time for a few donations for this one?
We can read one or two more, yeah.
Alright, cool, because we got $5 from John Nashworth again, saying, can we redirect this to getting Slam a new controller with a working down button so we can see level 57?
I use Joy-Cons, what can I say? You can read one more.
Alright, cool, because we also got $10 from Anonymous saying, hi Sheeply, love your family.
Hi, family. Love Sheeply. Thank you.
Alrighty, so hopefully we're done with Buzzy for the rest of the run. I can't imagine we'll see it again, but ideally that is the last time we will be seeing this entire speedrun. So, 2,000 coins exactly, not bad. Okay, so now I'm going to start building the West Hall, because we have plenty of coins to do so now. And from here, we are actually, believe it or not, ready to go into level 60. You thought we were going into 57. Oh, no, 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 no. Now, I do 60 first here because it's slightly faster in terms of getting through the menus. But this is another one that utilizes twisters, and they're not too bad here. This is another nighttime level where we have low gravity. I believe the first one where we have low gravity. I could be wrong about that, though. So we're going to be coming through here, collecting coins along the way, as we do. And I'm going to try to get through this next section in not one, but 2 boosts from the twisters. That was quite good. Then we're just going to jump right over all these plants. And this muncher. And then I'm going to pause here to set up the finish, so if I time that right, we should get the top. There we go. I use the munchers and like what cycle they're on to determine when I'm ready to go to the end there, so I can get the top of the finish line.
Oh, I always wondered about that.
Yeah. It only works if you get through the rest of the level as quickly as I did, though. Yeah, so it's essentially a setup you have to do from the very start of the level, so it's not free. But if everything goes well, then it's pretty easy. You know, provided everything goes well. So finally, we get to see level 57. And this is one where we have to collect 100 coins in a fully underwater level with cycles, because in this level we see blinking blocks, which are exclusive to 3D World. We can't see these in any other game style. But because of them, I'm going to try to make some certain cycles here. The first part is not that bad. Once we start seeing more cheeps, then we're going to have to worry. And then at the end we have bloopers, and those are all sorts of fun. Wink, wink. Alright, so we got through here pretty quickly. I did some movement there to spawn those two cheeps a little bit quicker than usual. And now we have to deal with bloopers. Fortunately, none of those can hit us, but once we get past this guy and the next guy, that's when it ramps up a little bit in difficulty. So we're going to get rid of him before we get hit. Ideally, we don't get hit here. But if we do, there are some more fire flowers we can get. So that guy's the last of the easy bloopers to dispatch. This guy can be a bit of a nuisance, but he cooperated this time, so yay for that. This next guy usually doesn't give us trouble. Perfect. And then this guy, depending on where the fireballs go, can be, again, a little bit of a nuisance. First fireball, though, pretty good. And then at the end here, you'll see that we can actually get the lower part of the flagpole and not have to worry about the top. And that can save a few seconds. But if we wait a little bit for the cycle to finish, we can get the top at 2:23 on the timer. And that kind of is a good demonstration of how people's coin routes can differ. So some people might prioritize finishing levels a little quicker with getting a few less coins, whereas some people might want to take a little bit longer to get a few more coins. It all depends on what you, as the runner, want to do. And that's what I think is so nice about this game, is that if any of you saw the 999 Bananas run of Super Monkey Ball 2 earlier in the marathon, it's kind of like that, where you can kind of customize your route to fit what you like. But in this case, I'm using like mostly optimized strats, so. And this is sadly one of the slower auto-scrollers, where in this case the night theme, I believe this is the jungle theme. Is that right, Sheeply? I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so in certain night styles, you can add poisonous mushrooms to the fields, and the way those work is they will constantly try to follow Mario, and they can also jump if a ledge is in their way, so assume the ledge isn't too high, it can continue to follow Mario. Fortunately, we have a little bit of a safe spot there, but since it's an auto-scroller, it does not last. So this guy's going to be following us pretty much the whole way. And since we don't get any mushrooms here, one hit and we're dead. There are also no checkpoints, so if we do get hit, then we have to start the whole level over, and that's not great, especially for an auto-scroller. But we do need it to raise this seesaw so we can get up to this claw and finish at the top of the finish line. So that was pretty perfect.
I don't know if I'm the only one who's ever done this, but I definitely spent some time in practice just seeing if there's any way to despawn the mushroom. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, if there is, I think it would take some really, really finicky movement. If it is at all possible, which I'm not sure it is, but. So we saw in 57 the Blinkin' Blocks. This is the first level that makes like really, really good use for it in terms of speedrun. Because this is by far one of my favorite levels to run in the entire game. So this first room is not anything too special, it's mostly just run and right and jump in at the right times. But using the Blinkin' Block cycles, the second room has some pretty tight movement. It's a pretty short room, but if I do this right, I should collect all the coins and get this wall jump before the blue ones come in, like that. Perfect, and I should enter at 284, yes I do. And then this room is where the real bread and butter of this level is at. So I'm going to collect that 10 coin and get the mushroom while it's on my way. I'm going to come over here, and there's a 50 coin where if I miss it, I will, unfortunately, die, which I do not do there, which is good, because that's just a straight-up bottomless pit. And I'm going to go for a double wall jump there. I got it. And I should finish with a 258 on the timer. Yes, indeed. So that went about as well as I could have asked.
Best level in the run, in my opinion.
It's quite good. Like, there's a pretty high skill ceiling for that one. There are also some, like, really, really minor optimizations I made there that, you can't really appreciate unless you run the game yourself, but I suppose you can, but Now we're going to build the cannons, because what castle is complete without them? Really good way to furnish up your living room. And then once we build the east cannon, or start building it at least, we're going to get into the first level in the run that's clearly, very clearly built around speedrunning, because we only have a 30-second timer to finish it. Hello.
And this level has the 300 coin bonus for first clear, so this is one of the best, absolute best levels in the run as far as advancing towards the goal.
Yeah, like the really short levels are generally the ones we want to go for, because even if they only yield 100 coins for the first clear bonus, that's still generally worth it. So I'm just gonna let my gameplay do the talking here, and that's unfortunate. Tried to go for a minor, like, 1.5 second optimization there, but sadly did not pay off. Fortunately, it's a quick level, so... You know, considering it took this long into the run for the first death, I am not disappointed by that. Alright, there we go, we got it. And then one thing you want to do at the very end here is you want to slow down just a little bit so you can buffer that finish line enough. Because if you just run straight towards it, you'll go right over it and not get any coins from the finish. But I guess that's a good way to talk about what happens when we do lose life in this game. Or at least in story mode. So if you lose a life, for whatever reason, what will happen is your coin total will be halved. So let's say you collect 20 coins, then Mario falls into a pit, then that gets down to 10, but you start the level again with 10 coins. And actually, I'm gonna stop talking here because this level has, at the very start, a sound cue I need to listen to, so I'm gonna listen for that real quick. Got it. Okay. So if you do that right, you should hit that switch and maintain all of Mario's rightward momentum. That saves about a second if you can get it, and that's like a 1 or 2 frame trick, so I'm really happy I got that. So yeah, you might have noticed that you can't see most of this level. And if you're scared, so am I. So don't worry about that. But yeah, once you run this level enough, you get a good feel for where everything is, what exactly you need to do, because this is a puzzle level that you're meant to kind of, you know, get a feel for, like, gradually. But before you know it, we're already done with it, so I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah, very nicely done. That is the most tense part of the run, in my opinion. And that was done flawlessly, because believe it or not, it is hard to play this game when you cannot see where you're going.
Yeah, I think that's the only level like that we see in any percent. There are at least 2 others like that in all of story mode. But that's hopefully the only one we get to see, or I guess not see, in any percent. So this level sucks. You need to collect a certain number of coins, but the entire floor in the next room has these note blocks, so it makes movement very, very finicky. But I do have a setup where I bounce off of that bullet bill, collect all 10 of those coins as they get shot out, pick up this spring, hopefully, yes, there we go, drop it, try to collect both of these 10 coins, got hit there, but that's why I collected the mushroom, and we actually got out of there pretty quickly. That level can just suck away your time if it wants to, because, again, it's very, very finicky. But that went about as well as I could have hoped. Ideally, there you do collect all 4 of the 10 coins, but if not, as long as you get 3, you're pretty golden. Lava Rising is... So, according to another old-school runner of this game, Oh Snap, who had the record back in the day, if it was not for Buzzy, this would be the level we coin grinded on if we needed to. And this is another one of my favorites in the entire run. So the first part deals with these skull platforms that work kind of like the snake blocks, except they have a little bit more mobility. And all we need to do is beat the lava, which we haven't seen since we entered this room. So hopefully, let's see here, can I get a good cannon cycle? No, I cannot. That's unfortunate, but it's fine, because we can still get into this next room here. And I have a little bit of a surprise for you guys in this room, so I'm going to be quiet for that. Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Happy little trees. Alright, Bob Ross aside, I got a 50 coin there, which requires a very, very precise setup to get, which I started doing as soon as I entered that last room there. And it basically requires you to make one of those donut blocks fall at a very certain time so Mario can hit the last blue skull platform there at a precise time. Because normally that 50 coin is not submerged by the lava at all when you collect it, but if you're quick enough and precise enough with when you land on the blue skull platform, you can hit it when it's mostly submerged. And that setup, I believe, was found by Sheeply and then optimized by a runner named Val, if I'm not mistaken.
I honestly don't remember anymore. The speedrun comes from so many people like contributing so many different ideas. It's hard to know like what is original versus what you just happen to see someone else do one time.
Yeah. So this is one of the coolest levels in the run. So the whole shtick of this level is thwomps, and I'm going to use this Shelmet in order to bop him up there and then damage abuse through. I'm going to go right through that chain jump and fall on the donut block before he comes back. I'm going to bop that guy up there without losing any speed. I'm going to lure him over here, and then bop him to send him back to the left a little sooner than he otherwise would. I'm going to duck under here so I can actually get through without losing the Shelmet, because I do need to maintain this for the rest of the level. I'm going to come up here, let those guys try to hit me and fail. And then over here I'm going to try to collect this 10 coin, but I need to wait just a little bit there before I turn around. I'm going to come over here, not get the corner boost, but that's okay. I'm going to hit all of those, and once I get this mushroom, I'm going to try to damage abuse with what I have left. To get through just a little bit more quickly, I'm going to damage abuse through that thwomp, and I'm going to finish with a 250 on the timer. That is pretty good.
Pretty nice.
So that was a Super Mario Bros. 3 castle level, and we're going to go right from that into another Super Mario Bros. 3 castle level, except this is a much, much shorter one. It's not quite as short as Head in the Clouds, which was the Green Toad level we saw earlier, but it's still pretty short, so I'm just going to take this time to focus a little bit. Because even though it is short, it is pretty tight in terms of your movement.
Yeah, and so the risk here with this level is if you don't get all the dry bones on that first cycle, then you have to wait for the lava to come all the way up, go all the way back down again so you can get them. So you're kind of forced to take on an extra several seconds if you don't get them right away.
Yeah. Also, we're just going to ignore what Mario did there.
Just going for his win.
Normally you wouldn't do that in a speedrun, but I just wanted to show off that that's possible. So this is Blinkin' Blocklets. I mentioned this one earlier in the run, and this one makes use of both Blinkin' Blocks and the catsuit. But it's also one where, even though we don't need to collect a ton of coins, we're going to do that anyway because there are a lot we can collect here. So at the end I should have like 140 or so, if I do this right. So as you can see, there's, nothing really special in that first room. Gonna collect the catsuit here. And even though there was nothing special in that first room, I'm going to go back anyway. Because, and this took us a while to find, but if you come up here with catsuit, there's a 50 coin stealthily hidden right at the top there. We didn't know that was a thing until like maybe a month after people started running this game. When Oh Snap first used it. And when I saw that at first, I was like so befuddled at what he was doing, and then I saw the 50 coin in that room and I was like, oh. How did we just now find that?
Yeah, that was definitely my inspiration after seeing that, to just like scour every level to see what other hidden coins there might be. Very nice pace on that one.
Yeah. If you finish that with 99 or 100 on the timer, that's how you know you got all the cycles, so pretty proud of that. What do we have next? What do we have next? Level 50. This one's pretty straightforward. There are two main strats you can do here. One is the fast strats and one is the safe strats. There's about a 2.5 second difference between them, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to take the safe strats because marathon. So,
Come on.
to be fair, too, it's a lot easier to get coins with the safe strats because when you're Big Mario, you have a larger hitbox. Otherwise, if you want to go a little faster, you can just be Small Mario through this whole level. Yeah, it uses more of the poisonous mushrooms, but we don't really mind them that much. Only at the end can they really hit you if you're not careful, but now we got through just fine, so didn't even really need safe strats.
Much more exciting than the first poison mushroom level auto-scroller.
Oh yeah, by a long shot. And then this next one is one of people's least favorite in all of story mode in general, not even just from a speedrun perspective, but it can be kind of frustrating because it's another level where you need to collect all the coins and they're scattered around the level. And there are some enemies in clown cars that make it really rough to get around for the most part, so let old Uncle Slam teach you how it's done. And hopefully you can do this casually. So the first thing I want to do is grab all those coins in one jump, lure this guy over to the left, and then come over here so you despawn him. Not despawn him, but render him harmless. Then we're going to alley-oop and swoosh right into that clown car. We're going to neutralize this threat, because even though that's just an item, it will still aggro on Mario for whatever reason. And then when we come over here, we're going to get that 10 coin. And you do need to be very large Mario here in order to break those blocks. So if I did everything right, I should finish with 68 on the timer, but instead I'm going to 1-up that and give you 69 on the timer instead. So that's all you have to do to beat that level relatively quickly. Very simple. With practice.
My preferred method is to spend about 20 to 30 seconds bouncing around between the bumpers, but that's just me.
Whoop, not the darkness lifts. No. I want level 53, which is titled Get Over It, but don't worry, this has absolutely nothing to do with Bennett Foddy. With that said, it is still one of the most hated levels in all of story mode, and when I was first running this game, I felt that sentiment, but after loads and loads of practice, it is actually now one of my favorites. So this is a very rare downward auto-scroller. Not only is this the only one in story mode, it is one of the only ones I can name in gaming. Right here is a mushroom you can get for safety. I'm not going to do that, though, because A, I'm a madman, B, the power-up animation takes about half a second to get through, and I like not losing that half second. Y'all thought I was going to fall in the poison there. No. Yeah, you only really need the mushroom in this level if you get hit by one of these saws. If you hit the poison, it'll kill you no matter what you have anyway. So the mushroom will not really help there. And then right here I'm going to land on that green snake block, and I'm going to try to do that as quickly as possible, because you'll see here the very top of it slowly starts to shift to the top of the screen as we go. And there is a kill plane up there that will kill Mario if you stand on a platform above it. If he's just in midair, it's fine, but if you stand on the snake block for whatever reason while he's past the kill plane, that will kill him. Which is kind of weird, but I'm not a game designer, so maybe it's not as weird as I think it is. But we got through unscathed, so that's all I can ask for. And there we go.
As we wrap up that one, is it okay to ask if there are any donations?
Go for it.
Sure can. We got $10 from Anonymous again saying, Sheeply, enjoying the Uncle Slam's game. Thank you so much for that donation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to everybody who's donating during this run and the entire weekend.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. Koopa Troopa Cargo, this is one of 2 levels we'll see in the run that utilizes the Koopa car. Again, this is exclusive to 3D World. And this essentially just becomes a hands-off experience where, for the most part, all I have to worry about is jumping. I will be turning around here and there as well. You can also do some very precise jumps to make use of the conveyor belts here. So here's an example of where I turn around, because there is a nicely hidden 50 coin back here. Whoop! Haven't missed that in a while. Then you can also jump up slopes just to save a little bit of time every time you do it. And then right over here, I'm gonna pop that bully. So yeah, that's a pretty fast-looking level, even though it's not as involved as a bunch of others. And it's been a while since we've built any of the castle, so I'm going to go back here and start building the west roof. It's kind of interesting, you're not actually able to build the west and east roofs unless you've built the doors and the cannon. So it's kind of interesting how the progression works there. Then we're going to go into level 69 here, the Road to Wall Jump Mastery, and as the name suggests, there are a lot of wall jumps here. But it's more than just that, because it's all vertical and I'm trying to ascend through the level. I'm going to try to scroll the screen up at very precise intervals. Obviously I can't do it there because the screen doesn't move at all, but in this case I'm going to skip this first spike. And right there I'm going to wait a little bit so I can get that shell out at a very specific time. So I can A, get that 10 coin, and B, come up here without much difficulty. I'm also going to wait here so I can spawn this saw in the right position so I can get past it without getting hit. And then once we reach near the top here, I'm going to try to adjust my movement so I can spawn 2 bonsai bills at the top. You kind of saw them going to the left there. So when I go back up there as Mario, I don't have to worry about getting hit by them. And then the movement in this last room is pretty cool if you ask me. Or just spin jump off of the wall and then go back, do another wall jump. I don't know, I just think it looks neat. Now would be a good time for a donation if we have any more.
I can always talk about what we're raising money for again, because, or rather what you can donate towards, because we do have a bunch of incentives and we have bid wars. So we have, for example, Halo Reach coming up later in the marathon, where if we reach a total of $100, the runner will play as Lone Wolf. And right now we're at 80 out of those 100, so just another $20 is what you need to donate if that's something you want to see.
We're almost there, guys. We can do it.
Almost there. And then we also have other runs coming up like Metal Slug, for example, where there's a character choice. So far, there's no dollars towards any of the names, so if you want to see either Eri, Theo, Marco, or Tarma, you can donate towards either of those to get them in the lead.
Yeah, this level is one of the easiest in the runs. All I have to do is run to the right and either long jump or normal jump. Pretty self-explanatory. And it's also pretty quick. Like, it gives you, what is it, 120 seconds, and you only ever use like 20 of them. Alrighty, what's the next level here? I actually forget the order I do the next 4, so we'll see. It's as a surprise to you as it is to me right now.
Last time you said that you ended up playing level 56 8 times or something.
True, true. So yeah, this is Blooper Barrage, and this is one of the heaviest RNG levels in the entire game, I would say. But it does have the best item from Super Mario World in the cape. And this is the only time we'll be seeing this run, so enjoy it while it lasts. So these bloopers will go left to right randomly. That was good RNG there. So I want to pop as many as I can at once. And, oh, is this going to be 284? That's going to be 284! Oh my gosh, I almost never get those. Yeah, usually what happens is they'll give you, mediocre or not great RNG, and you'll end with 281 on the timer, but luckily they were very nice to me there, and I finished with 284. So that was quite nice. Thank you, Bloopers. Guess they knew they were in a marathon and wanted to be, I don't know, look good for the camera or something. Alright, so this is launching bob-bombs. This is like Diet Buzzy, where we still throw stuff up to collect coins, but in this case it's bob-bombs, and in this case it's not set up kind of like an auto-scroller. So if I get at least 87 coins here, go nuts. Because that is in absurdly high amounts for this level. Actually, anything 90 or higher is absurd, but 87 plus is still insanely good. So I'm going to try to throw them at very precise angles. Also, don't worry about the enemies up in clouds. They, like, never bother us. 87! Let's go! That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, very good. Because it's easy to mess up those vertical throws, just if you don't hit it at quite the right angle.
Yeah, because definitely you don't want to throw them up while they're standing still, because then you'll only get like 2 columns of those coins, whereas if you put it at a slight angle, you'll usually get 4. And with how many clusters of coins there are there, that really does add up. Okay, so casually, this next level, Stone of Destiny, is one of the longest in the entire game. It's a puzzle level, where you're meant to use the stone and bring it into 4 different rooms in order to solve puzzles, but we only need to bring it into 2. I'm going to bring it into 3, though, because one of the strategies is just a little... It's kind of personal preference which one you use, but this first one is the only one I'm going to not use the stone in, so if you're fast enough, you can jump straight up there and get the key before the bullet bills can reach you. Otherwise, you need to do a really slow puzzle with the conveyor belts, and it's not nearly as fun to watch. This level, all you have to do is bop that thwomp up with a stone, have him destroy those blocks, and then collect the key once he's gone. And in this next level, I'm just gonna hop on here and let the game do its job.
Mario living on the edge there.
Oh yeah, I'm so scared. Then hop off up there. And this next room is kind of interesting because this has a 30 coin that was accidentally discovered by Big John, of all people. So after we do the intended way to get that key, I'm going to send that shell over here and collect that 30 coin that is hidden behind that wall. Yet none of us realized it was there, even though the wall there is clearly a different color and can be destroyed by the shells. Just none of us ever thought to destroy it. Till Big John did it by complete mistake and revealed that. So that's been added to the run, and that saves a pretty good amount of time collecting coins elsewhere. So here's another case where I'm going to face to the left with a stone. There we go. I don't think I've missed a single one-up with the Mario Bros. 3 levels this run, have I?
No, I think you're 5 for 5 or something like that.
That's really good. Usually you'll get a couple stars here and there, but full one-ups on those endings is really, really good.
Yep, with just possibly one more to go.
Mm-hmm. So level 80, this is another pseudo-auto-scroller. It deals with a kind of interesting mechanic where there's like a hard route and a less hard route. Some would call it an easy route. Yeah, that's accurate. Oh, also Super Mario Bros. Super Mario 64 music, so hope you all enjoy that. So this is the level I was talking about earlier, where the twisters are a real nuisance in this game style. So right here, I'm going to try to get a 30 coin by getting boosted up by this twister. Okay, it did cooperate there. Almost got hit by the saw there. I do not want that to happen because I really want to maintain this mushroom. And you'll see why momentarily. But yeah, for the most part, you just want to hit all of the on-off switches as you come to them. You really don't want to forget any, because then you take the hard route, and that's not great. Oh no, I forgot that one. But it's fine, because there's a 50 coin here that you actually need to take the low route for anyway. Then you can get a mushroom back there. I take it for safety, we don't really need it. But yeah, this switch we actually don't need to hit since we missed the last one. Otherwise you would want to hit it. And then there's one more switch that we actually don't want to hit, because there is a 30 coin we get on the low route that the high route doesn't provide. So even though we're going to miss the top of the flagpole here, that only gives us 10 coins as opposed to the 30 we get from there. And you don't have to be a mathematician to know that 30 is in fact more than 10. So that's why we do that.
Can we get a fact check on that one?
Yeah. I don't know, I could just be spewing nonsense about that, but I think mathematically that works out. So here we're going to get one of the few levels where the Toad we've been getting levels from is freaking out and gives us a required mission, where in this case one of the Toads has been kidnapped by Bowser, I believe, and we need to go in and rescue him. And if you liked the Galaxy music from before, I've got a pleasant surprise for you. It's back. So this is another low gravity level, and when you're in the new Super Mario Bros. U style, you can just spin to maintain most of your altitude during that whole time. So we're going to make very good use of that. Collect that 10 coin now that the spike has passed. And there's a rhythm you need to hit when it comes to spinning here. You can't just like spam the button willy-nilly and hope that it goes through the way you want it to. So that's neat, I guess. And then over here, we're just gonna spin at a slightly slower rate so we can actually tell where the top of the flagpole is relative to Mario. And that's probably one of the easiest of the Toad escort missions. Unless you have a different opinion, Cheaply.
Oh no, definitely. Yeah, and we're getting into the home stretch of the run here now.
Yeah, only a few more levels to go.
A couple more pieces to build, too.
Yeah. Okay, so next we're going to get into 81, and this is the only other don't jump level in any percent. I believe there are 2, maybe 3 others in all of story mode, but we don't really see those here. This one is kind of interesting in that there is an individual level strat that saves a buttload of time, but it is very precise to get, and if we did it in story mode, there'd be so much pause buffer and it almost wouldn't be worth it. That aside, we would also just lose out on a fair amount of coins as well, but I'll explain that a little more when we get there. For now, I just need to make sure I land on these seesaws. Okay, good. I thought I fell off for a second there. So you see these fallen platforms here. They start to fall once Mario lands on them, and when it comes to this cluster right here, you can ride one of those all the way down to the bottom, and you can see, because this one has wings, it doesn't fall nearly as quickly. If you're able to ride one of the other ones down, you will need to be Super Mario because you're guaranteed to hit saws on the way down, but they will get you to the bottom of this room much, much more quickly. But it is not at all easy to get, even if you're pause buffer in. So, gonna get the swag one up. Perfect. And then, like we did at the end of the first no jump in allowed level, we're gonna do it there too, and get the top. No sweat. So now we're going to start building one of the last parts of the castle. I believe it is the penultimate part of the castle we will start to build. And that is the roof to the main hall.
Oh, go ahead, Slade.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Just going to say that'll take us down to 228 coins, and so now our goal is 2,000. So we need to get 2,000 coins before we can build the final piece and get towards finishing the castle. So that's our goal.
Yeah, so the first of these quote-unquote final 5 levels that we get by building the castle is Boom Boom Rager. And this is a nighttime level that deals with wind cycles. Now, in the Super Mario Bros. 1 style, if you have these wind cycles, they will go to the left, alternating on and off. And because of that, it makes the route in this level very interesting, because there are a lot of coins you can get, but if you add them to your route, you have to take into account the wind cycles, because those can definitely mess up the rest of your route if you're not careful. So right here, this is the second big coin that Sheeply found that shaved off a minute of the run with that 30 coin. You need a good wind cycle in order to get it, and with this route, you hit it pretty consistently. And it doesn't even lose much time at all. I think it only loses like maybe 1 second compared to the old route. So, yeah, 1 second for 30 coins is definitely worth it. I love this next level, actually. It's another one that's built around speedrunning. So I am just going to be quiet here and let my gameplay do the talking. In the meantime, do we have any donations, or how are incentives looking?
I'm always happy to talk more about our incentives because I do still have more of them that I haven't touched upon. For example, during the Metal Slug run that I mentioned earlier, where you can pick the character, you can also donate because it's a race that is gonna happen. You can donate towards making the loser do more squats because you can donate $5 for each squat, and currently there's $60 raised. So that we're already up to 12 squats here. So if you want to see the loser of this race do more than 12 squats, you can get your donations in for that.
Thank you.
Please.
That is a great one.
Yeah, please do that. Make the runners put in more work. Yeah, so this is an interesting part of the level where right before you hit that last switch, it teaches you that you don't necessarily want to hit all of the switches, and that would be why, because if you hit that very last switch, then that Spiny Shelmet does not come out. And I'm going to try not to die here. Alright, got that 30 coin, and I don't know, this one's getting kind of close, and it's fine. Yeah, full disclosure there, Mario and that Bonsai build do overlap their sprites, but because the hitboxes are relatively generous, you're almost guaranteed never to get hit there. So that one's just flashy to look at. It's not super difficult, but it's, again, fun to watch.
It also has a, I mean, it's in the past now, but it has a troll that Nintendo like put in their own level. So I think it's pretty awesome that they trolled us with that one.
Yeah.
But after playing this few hundred times, Slam is not easily trolled anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that with me nowadays in this game. So this is threat level Porcupuffer, and this introduces the Porcupuffer enemy, which is, again, a 3D World exclusive. If they eat Mario when he has... it doesn't matter what power-up he has, as long as it's not Star. They will devour him completely and make you lose life immediately. But fortunately, we have a Star in this room, so we can dispatch all of these guys without much of a problem. Collect all these coins along the way. Beautiful. And at the end of this room, there is a 30 coin you can get if you want to. I have a very precise setup for it to get it safely, but you do kind of need to hit the setup to get it. Otherwise, this Porcupuffer will give you a very bad time. And I think I hit it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. We're good, we're good.
All part of the setup.
Yep, totally planned. All of it. But yeah, at this point in the run, you can kind of gauge how many coins you have and tell whether or not you actually want to go for that 30 coin. For the longest time, I didn't used to, but then in my current PB, I actually went for it because I thought it was further behind on coins than I thought, when it turns out I was actually A-okay. But it did pay off. Because it meant I got to skip some coins in one of the future levels we'll be seeing. So saved a little time with that. So this is Fast Snake Block Frontier. Words are hard. And this level has some neat skips. Alright, good, got that one. So I'm going to jump over here onto these donut blocks. And we're not going to use that snake block anymore. Instead, we're just going to damage abuse past these spikes. Alright, so I'm going to collect that mushroom and then hop up here. And you want to hit this top snake block relatively quickly, because we're going to use it for another skip here, where after we hop up here, I'll do kind of a pseudo double jump and jump over that part of the level, which is something a lot of runners actually don't know of. You can just do that and skip, you know, hopping back on the lower two. And that saves about 4 to 5 seconds, I think? Something like that. It's been so long that I haven't done it that I've just completely forgotten at this point. And unfortunately, at this point, we actually do need to wait for the snake block to get into place so we can go through this pipe. And really, the only thing you need to worry about there is not getting crushed by it between the snake block and the wall.
I find a lot of creative ways to die in this game, but I don't think I've ever done that one, actually.
I think it's happened to me once in practice.
You have to bust it out for a run sometime then.
Maybe. So yeah, this is, I believe, the last 300 coin level we'll be seeing in the run with Parabeetle Transfer. This one's pretty chill. It's another pseudo auto-scroller where the whole point is to ride these Parabeetles over. If Mario stands on them, they will start to rise, but if he jumps on them, they will get a little bit lower. So we can utilize jumps to adjust their position as need be. It's kind of a chill ride all the way to the end. Though it's kind of a shame that they only go at this speed, because it's a little bit of a crawl. So yeah, I just want to stay low so we don't hit those flames. And you know what, Sheeply? I'm actually getting kind of sick of this level, so I'm just gonna speed things up a bit.
No, don't.
You can't tell me what to do. So yeah, the position of those Goombas is just right, that you're able to jump off of both of them and get to the end just fine. And it almost makes me think that Nintendo knew people were going to speedrun story mode here. So I'd like to find that out one day, that they had people like us in mind. So now we've got Total Eclipse, which is kind of like Toad Rescue, very similar. It's a Toad escort mission, except in this case we need to escort 5 Toads to the finish. And there is a 6-second time save that requires some very precise movement through most of the level. So I'm going to kind of be quiet for that, if Sheeply you want to commentate what I do here.
Yeah, so this, as you mentioned, we have to rescue all the Toads. And it's kind of like, almost like a those red coin style levels where you have to do room by room, except there's no coins. And so this one is also heavily dependent on cycles. We'll see these fire bar cycles. Got to be careful with those, and if you're too slow, then you just have to wait for them to spin around. And the next one down bottom left, we will have, I think they're called skewers. The skewer cycles we got to wait on.
You also
So
get this. Yeah, I also get the. Sorry, I get the leftmost one on a very certain cycle by pausing where I did.
Yeah, exactly. So have it come on the screen at the right time, and it'll save you a little bit of time. And then now up here we've got the burner cycles, so we have to wait for those.
All right, got it.
Go right through. Very nice.
Yeah, so you want to get through. You have just enough time to get through there before they go off again and threaten to get rid of one of your Toads. But fortunately, that did not happen. If it does, you can back it up and still get the 6-second time save if you get really lucky with where they go. But fortunately, because of those burners I just passed, we want to make that cycle. And that's the one we really need to worry about with to get the 6-second time save. Because if you're just a little bit too slow, the back Toad will get hit by one of them, and you'll need to go back and get him, and that wastes a ton of time. But luckily, we got the fastest possible Total Eclipse there, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, very nicely done. This late in the run too. It's a tough level, and so if you mess that one up, then you can kiss your PB goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so 1843 here. Okay, so I'm going to do Shoes in the Clouds here, so we don't get to see the other Yoshi level, unfortunately. Sorry if you were looking forward to that. But generally, this is the level we will do at this point, because you see I have 1843 coins here. That number can fluctuate greatly depending on how the rest of the run goes. So depending on how many coins you need left to reach the 2000 threshold, you can do a bunch of different levels. This is typically the most common one we'll see, though. So, since I only need to collect 7 coins here, I'm actually gonna skip quite a few. So at this point, I actually don't even need to collect any more coins.
Yeah, that's quite a luxury to be able to skip all the coins in here.
Yeah, but since I need to wait for this swamp anyway, I'll just collect some for assurance. Alright, we're gonna intentionally go through there and lose the shoe. Gonna bounce off of these guys, go over those chain chomps, and hit the finish. And it's still 1-up, even though I didn't get the setup I wanted for it, so nice.
The swag 1-up, just for good measure, nice.
Yep, so now we can finally build the final part of the castle, which is the stained glass. And the run is essentially over once it's finished being built. Though we do end it a little sooner than that, but again, we get to that point when we need, later. So now, since we don't need coins, all we need to do is finish building the stained glass, and since we just need to finish levels to do that, I'm going to play Head in the Clouds for a few times until the stained glass is finished.
Right now, it's just about time. We don't care about coins at all anymore. So we'll do the shortest level period, which is this one, which we noted earlier on in the run. And don't care about the 10 coin, don't care about the flagpole, where we hit it, just get out.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, since it's so short, this is just the one we play over and over again. We don't play it as frequently as Buzzy, though, and even if we did, it's much shorter, so it doesn't take nearly as long, so... This is a very chill part of the run.
Yeah, and so this would probably be the last opportunity for any donations during the run, if there are any.
I'm always happy to talk about our event again because we are raising money. This is a charity marathon. So we are raising money for Sweet Relief. And in case you are not familiar with Sweet Relief, they're a musicians fund that provide financial assistance to all type of career musicians. And especially now during COVID, this is incredibly important. In March of 2020, Sweet Relief launched a COVID-19 fund to be used specifically for musician and music industry workers affected by coronavirus. 100% of every dollar donated is used to pay for medical expenses, lodging, clothing, food, and other vital living expenses to those impacted due to sickness or loss of work. So seriously, if you can donate, it is really appreciated if you do so. And if you can't, that's also okay. Your support, just being here watching, sharing the stream, is also very much appreciated.
Thank you very much for that, and thank you everyone again for the donations.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Are we still $20 away from that Halo run?
Yes, we are.
Alright, let's meet that incentive, guys. We can do it. I challenge you to meet it by the time this run ends. How about that? I believe in you guys. And we're only 2 levels away from that point, so might want to hurry. Especially considering one of them is Head in the Clouds. Alright, so normally you would think, since we need, to beat 5 levels in order to finish the stained glass, we're just... excuse me, we just play Head in the Clouds 5 times, but the last time you actually do need to do a very specific level. That being Mauser Showdown, and this is another kind of RNG-dependent level. It's not nearly as bad as, say, Blooper Barrage, but it does have its fair share of RNG, especially right from the get-go. So in this case, Toadette actually gets kidnapped by Mauser, and we need to save her. So, the first big RNG we're going to see here is from the Fire Bros. So after I get a mushroom, we'll see them. Alright, and how far left or right they go? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, they can really mess you up in multiple ways. You can either take damage from them, or you can accidentally bounce off them if they kind of just plant themselves under you. But they were cooperative that time.
Yeah, very cooperative. Then here we have Mauser, and where he goes... Okay, he gave us really good RNG there. I was able to just jump over him. Okay, so next we get the chillest part of this entire room where we're in the car, and literally all I have to do here is time my jumps. Look, I'm all one hand. So yeah, not a whole lot to talk about in this room. Actually, no, I lied. There's one additional thing we do in this room besides just jump, and it's pretty insane. You guys ready for this? Alright, check this out. After this jump right here, I turn to the right. Absolutely mind-boggling. I know it took months of practice for me to get that just right, but there you have it. Something other than just jumping. So, this Mauser Fight coming up in this room. This used to be heavily RNG based, because what he can do is he can just stay in the background where you can't touch him and throw fireballs at you. Not quite like that, but you might see what I mean in a second. And we want to hit him with 4 POW blocks, and if he's like in the background, we can't do anything about that. But an individual level runner by the name of QWERTY recently found that if you stay in one particular corner of the room, you can manipulate his RNG so he stays on screen the entire time. So he's cooperating so far. We just need to hit him with 2 more of these POW blocks. Up, okay. He's going back. Okay, so yeah, see, he can do this for as long as he wants, but if I stay in that corner, he will guaranteed come back. And we're about to finish the run here, so get ready on time. Time will be as soon as Mario grabs the flagpole. Not touches the flagpole, but grabs the flagpole. So time is right now.
Very, very nice run, Slam.
Yeah, that's, according to my timer, that's like a mid 140. Which is really, really good. Yeah, so
GG indeed.
Yeah, so for reference, the world record is a 139.33 or 32. I think it's 33. So that was about a minute off record. That is not bad for a run this long. So yeah, do we have a final time on that before I get into shoutouts?
On the stream, it's an hour, 40 minutes, and 23 seconds.
23. Okay, that's really good. That's less than a minute off a world record. Nice. And considering I only had the one, I think I only had the one death, right, Sheeply, in 33?
That's right, yep.
Yeah, so that's quite good, actually. So yeah, as we hit the end credits sequence here, I just want to give a huge shout out to the Mario Maker 2 community. Thanks for the support along the way here. It's really meant a lot. If any of you watching are at all interested in learning story mode for Mario Maker 2, you can join our Discord. We have a bunch of really helpful people in there that are always willing to, get you started, maybe help you out with some strategies or any other tips you might want to know going in. I also have a video tutorial on my YouTube channel, if any of you would like to see that instead. It's currently a work in progress, but you gotta start somewhere. So if that interests any of you, that's there. Besides that, yeah, just thanks to Sheeply and Richie for commentating, even though Richie had to leave early. That stuff is always appreciated. And yeah, anything you want to say, Sheeply?
No, it's been a pleasure to do this. Thank you very much to the organizers of the event. This has been awesome. I've enjoyed watching all the other runs and excited for the rest of it this weekend. So thank you very much for all the work that's done behind the scenes too.
Yeah, keep doing it, guys. This is a really good cause. And remember to stay hydrated.
Thank you both. And before we let you go, you did issue a challenge to chat, and I'm happy to report that they did come in with a delivery on that, because we did get $5 from John Ashforth saying challenge accepted. And then we also got $20 from Isuka424 also saying challenge accepted. And with that, the Halo run is met, so you can look forward to that later on. Thank you so much to you both.
Let's go, guys.
Bravo. Thank you,
All
everyone.
right, awesome job. I'm proud of y'all. All right, with that said, enjoy the rest of the Super Mario block, and thanks for donating, and thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace out.